Manchester United push on with their task to achieve Champions League football with that 2-0 victory over Everton. We spoke about Manchester United's dominance before the break, Leon, but how do you sum up Everton's day?
Frustrating, I suppose, to come and lose without really having a proper go, certainly in that second half. But you can't argue Manchester United were by far the better team in all the crucial areas of the field. Had a number of chances where it could have been even more than two. But Everton will feel that both goals they conceded were avoidable. So frustration in those sense of terms. But yeah, but as I said, Manchester United were comfortably the better team. And
it was a goal in each half that did the damage, Paul. Could they both have been avoided, do you think?
Well, Leon seems to think so. I just thought it was good play from Manchester United, especially the first goal. I think the pass from Jadon. We know Jadon's been a little bit quiet, but that's what he's good at. He's good at them little tight areas, producing intricate, lovely weighted passes. Good from Scott McTominay, good bit of movement. You see, it's difficult to get through all that. It's a bit of a mess there for Everton. There's 10 players behind the ball. And it's a lovely pass from Sancho and well finished at the near post.
Well, there's four tackles there that, you know, Everton have lost to Marcus Rashford in 50-50 tackles on the edge of the penalty area. And then in that crucial moment, great run by McTominay. You're right, positive from Manchester United's point of view.
You've got to accept good play sometimes.
Is that right? Yeah. I always had to against you.
To be fair, that could have been 5 or 6, couldn't it, by that time? Anyway.
No, it could, yeah. I mean, conceded to the second goal that finished the game off. So, as I said, question marks whether he was actually offside, but
it was reset.
You know, it resets it, I suppose. But no,
clutching it. Yeah.
I am, but yeah, as I said, a game where Everton didn't pose enough threat. Manchester United could have won the chances they had. Jordan Pickford was outstanding, but the 2 goals they actually conceded were avoidable from Everton's point of view. So frustrating.
They've combined for 20 goals, Martial and Rashford. How big is it having Martial back fit? Because it feels like it gels a lot better when they're both playing.
Yeah, it does, and certainly with Marcus Rashford maybe looking like he could miss some time as well. So having him back is important. But they look like they enjoy playing together, and the team looks more balanced. I think having the both of them in the team, it offsets that they have more penetration, you know, rather than Marcus Rashford being the one running behind Sancho and Antony coming to feet all the time. Although Antony did, in the first half, running behind a little bit more. I think they give lovely balance with both of them in the team. But from United's perspective, I was just really impressed. And I think, you know, they're fighting on all 3 fronts. They're going to need all of their squad. Eriksen back in as well today. That gives them a little bit more quality in the midfield. So many options for Ten Hag.
How big is it to have Martial back for the running? Because he's spoken about how physically fragile he is.
Yeah, look, it's great to have him back. We all know the quality he's got. It's just can he get through it now? Can he get through to the end of the season? He hasn't got a great record fitness-wise, but we all know how good a player he is. If he's playing in this team, he's scoring 20 goals, 20 to 25 goals, and that adds up then to that gap. There is a big gap in goals between United and Liverpool and City and Arsenal. But like you say, it's a little bit of a blow with Rashford. I just hope he's okay, because just as Marcus comes back, then he goes out. Them two together play really well. They have some kind of link that has been missing in forward areas, and they're both very dangerous. And look, I hope Marcus is okay, and it gives you that option. And as I said before the game, you need 4 or 5 players who are going to contribute to try and get you up to 70, 80 goals. And I think Martial and Marcus together could possibly bring half of those.
Yeah, they really need to hope that Rashford injury is nothing serious. Here, though, Old Trafford becoming a fortress. It was a really good atmosphere here today. 24 unbeaten, and they were completely dominant. The chances they had, Joe, in that first half, 21 shots, which is a record for any half this season.
Yeah, completely dominant. And going back to the points before, they've got so much threat, so they do need to score more goals from different areas. But it was just flowing today. You know, Wan-Bissaka won't be happy with that. Luckily, he was offside. But this is what Antony done particularly well in the first half. He got in behind. He just needs to brush up on this last little finish. Can he open his body up? But again, he got in all too easy down Everton's left-back channel in the first half, and then Sean Dyche made the change at half-time. But United just flowed, and there's options. And I think having Bruno and Eriksen in the team, and with a front 3 in front of them, I think they're going to create chances and they're going to score goals. And if you're a Man United fan, there's a lot to look forward to.
The fact they didn't take more of those chances, is that just going to increase the talk, Leon, about what they need to do in the summer?
Absolutely. You know, as Paul says, you need your striker to score 25 goals plus minimum, but everybody has to contribute if you're gonna have success. Your midfielders need to get 8-10 goals. Your wide men need to get 10 or 12 goals. So until you reach those standards, everybody will be questioned, because that's how you make the team better, by questioning people, by asking, by demanding of people, right through to the manager, to the players. And if that's not the case, then to make the next step, to bridge that gap between where they are now and Arsenal and Manchester City, then they will have to look at strengthening.
Well, it's back-to-back wins this week for Manchester United, the best home defence as well in the league this season. Would that have been one of the first tasks and challenges Ten Hag had when he came here to improve that home form, Paul? Because the fear factor had gone. Yeah,
had gone a little bit. I think teams are probably finding it too easy to come here and score goals and win games. But I was a little bit surprised by that stat, to be honest with you. But look, you have to give them credit, and they've changed the back four quite a lot. You know, there hasn't always been a regular back four which you'd associate with a team doing really well.
There was 3 changes today just from Wednesday.
Yeah, well, I thought the manager got the team right today. I think he freshened it up from Wednesday. They obviously played at the weekend as well. Coming from Wednesday to a Saturday morning can be quite difficult, so he freshened it up perfectly well. And you know, you see how sharp they were. And look, that we talk about goals. That really should have been a 5 or 6-0 game today to get them up towards them levels, but it wasn't, Leon. Luckily enough for you. But look, in better, more important games, you know, missing them chances might become more critical, but today it was quite comfortable. Yeah,
Erik Ten Hag talking about the schedule perhaps being responsible for that injury to Marcus Rashford. They've already played more games than anyone in Europe, and the schedule doesn't get any easier because they've still got another 6 games in April, Paul. It's tough, but I guess it's a big positive that they're still fighting on 3 fronts.
Exactly. If you want to be winning trophies, you're going to be playing games, and they have to be ready for that. He's got the squad in. Over the last year, he doesn't really use his squad that much, but I think over the last couple of weeks especially, he's started to realise that he needs it. You know, today they freshened up 3 or 4 positions and look really sharp again. And yeah, there's a lot of games to go, but we want games. You know, we want to be getting to finals of competitions, and that's what we're in this business for. That's what Man United are here for. They want to win trophies, and for this year, settling for the top 4 place as well is good enough.
Sevilla coming here on Thursday live on BT Sport. They've got Brighton in the FA Cup as well. That race for the top 4 still very much on, Leon. What else do you think they can achieve this season?
Well, they believe they can win both cup competitions and finish in the top 4 that remain, and it could be an absolutely fantastic season for Manchester United. As Paul said before, the injury to Marcus Rashford will be a concern with those huge cup games coming up. Sevilla here, a game where you need to come out and be positive, and you need your goal scorers to be at their very best. And he's been by far United's best player this season, so you don't want him missing in this crucial run, and you don't want them missing in April. So they'll hope for the best. They'll hope that this is at best a touch of cramp, at worst, you know, a 10-day injury where maybe they'll get him back for the second leg if that's some sort of strain.
Yeah, he looked in some discomfort as he walked up the tunnel. Ten Hag said it didn't look good. And we spoke a lot before the game about their over-reliance on him, Joe. They've got to hope it's nothing serious.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look too serious, to be honest. When it's a groin, I think you can get away with things. And like Ozzy said, I think a 10-day injury, he'll be back for the second leg. But they've got to manage the squad. You know, Martial's a little bit fragile. Weghorst doesn't seem to be the answer in that number 9 position, and this is the crucial time of the season. Forget the first 6-7 months of the season. Come April and May, if you're competing for all these trophies, this is when you've got to perform. This is when you've got to be peaking. I think they've got enough bodies. I think they've got enough quality in the squad to compete on all 3 fronts. And I think from Marcus Rashford, I would just like to you just like to see him on the pitch all the time because he's so good at the moment. But it needs to be spread out. The games need to be spread out because like you said, Thursday, Sunday, Tuesday, there's so many important games for United, and they need to find that right balance.
Yeah, he does have Casemiro coming back as well from suspension, and Eriksen, of course, back in action today.